Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I thought in this supplemental video, you can use it as a guided meditation if you'd like, but it's also just a bit of supplemental teaching and exploration into emotion. When we say be as is, or inhabit presence, remain, abide as whatever emotion might be occurring. It's not in denial or suppression or repression. It's not a pushing away or a resistance or denial. It's a complete, a total presence for and as whatever emotion is occurring. And one way we can kind of come to this is through this beautiful reflection of the body. When we are present with an emotion in our minds, it can start to become very analytical. If the emotion is super overwhelming, the conceptualization will move towards analysis and transcendent just to get out of it, really. Or start getting off on a why, an explanation train, well, this, that, the other, da, 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 so that the emotion itself never really gets to have full expression. It's mediated through a mind train of explanation, denial, analysis, transcendence, you name it. I don't know what your particular pattern is. And, that serves sometimes rationalization and all of that, but it's not what we're speaking about with the being as is, inhabiting presence as emotion, profound sometimes emotion is occurring in this expression, in what you might want to call the horizontal axis of reality, the relative phenomenal world. So the body itself will sense and feel emotion even prior to the naming of the emotion. So prior to the name anxiety, we might just experience directly tightness in the chest, tightness, a gripping in the muscles, a sense of upness, an upward motion in the stomach, kind of that, what do they call it, butterflies down deep in the belly, or a gripping. But you see how even those words, gripping, tightness, are already one step away from the actuality. But they're closer than the name of the emotion. So it is an exploration to feel what fury is as a sensation in the body prior to the name of fury, prior to the name of rage, prior to the name of grief. prior to the name of whatever it might be, happiness. What is the actual sensation and reflection in the body? Tight hands, gripped toes, catching of the breath. You know, it happens for all of us in different ways. But when we bring the attention to that piece of experience, we are much more present time. And the formless awareness, clear light, presence, right here, right nowness it influences and informs and permeates and compassionately engages the emotion. We can be just as is presently for whatever might be occurring, the tightness, the shakiness, whatever it is that the actual emotion presents as within the physicality. And we see the difference, right? We see the difference between explaining and naming and categorizing and narrating the emotion. That generally lends to a reaction of some kind, where we have to react to the emotion through whatever it might be: denial, rationalization, justification, opposition, resistance, transcendence. But when we anchor in the body as the sensation, we are present with and for and through and amidst and amongst and as whatever is appearing in consciousness and making its way into the space, into the spacious awareness, so that it may be returned, dissolved, sometimes burned in the fire of the heart. Whatever the case may be, just as it came, it's free to go. It's not held in some tightly contracted conceptual idea of why, what, A then B causality, A then B opposition. And it informs. It informs. In other words, it flowers, and one is able to experience the heart of rage, the heart of hopelessness, the heart of grief. And who knows what will arise in that knowing with a capital K. A memory, a deep memory, a pre-verbal memory may arise. a deep gratitude, unmanufactured compassion, uncaused love. As presence informs, penetrates, illuminates, and shines as whatever emotion is being given its day in the light of presence, its moment. And we can do this spontaneously as in a response to the flow of our days, you might say, like, you're not sure, but something tips us off into some emotion that is captivating, catches our attention in response to something that occurs during the day. And that's a good practice. That we can practice that, inhabiting presence rather than conceptualization, anchoring in the sensation that the emotion is reflecting in the physicality, the reflection of the emotion in the physicality. We can do that. But we can also, if we have the capacity and we're still and open, as in no agenda, no expectation, questioning the thoughts, curious about something other than explanatory narration. If we are in the great stillness, open-hearted, open listening, open-handed, we can actually evoke, if we know there's kind of a situation that we are keeping sort of under wraps because it's just too overwhelming, some grief that's unresolved, something we don't really want to look at because we've got a lot we need to get done and we know it's going to be a tsunami or some kind of grudge we're holding, some place of closed-heartedness. We can evoke that. Become still, open, deeply anchored within the body rather than the conceptual mind. And we can say, to whatever the situation may be, we can bring up the flavor of it, the scenario of it. That moment so-and-so did such and such, or that moment this happened, or that moment, and actually evoke it. Bring it into consciousness. Sense deeply. Inhabit with presence and as presence the sensations that are felt in the body as this situation presents. And allow this lovingness that is the present, of the presence that is present, to be in and amongst and as that situation, as we're deeply anchored in the actual sensation and experience of it in the physicality. Not the why, not the name of it, not the story of it, not the narration of it. And allow that holding within time and space to be loved and return to love inherently, spontaneously. It's the nature of presence. We're not manufacturing some forgiveness or new way of looking at something, or it's not a manufactured strategy. It's a relaxation into what already is and a willingness to give way to the inherent divine wisdom that arises, the compassion, the uncaused love, when one is absolutely present. Absolutely. There's a lot of what do we want to call it? Contemplation around trauma these days, and new wiring for this this emergence of a original and fresh human consciousness, human expression. Polyvagal theory, there's lots of stuff. This rewiring inherent, it naturally, it's natural to a certain level of consciousness where I am that I am. Is seen as the true nature. The true nature. And the felt sense of identity is with that. Then the natural reflection, the natural response in the mind-body structure, the natural, unmanufactured response in the mind-body structure to the recognition of spirit, you might say, I am that I am-ness, is to become more and more compassionate, more and more understanding, more and more in gratitude, harmony, lovingness, not as a plan for being a good person. It's beyond good and bad. It's beyond. It's beyond that world. It's beyond the world of traumatized, not traumatized. It's beyond. It's a new, new in the sense of fresh, freshly experienced, but it's original. It's not new, it's original. An original world, the original vision of creation. The Garden of Eden. Was not created through the divided mind. It was not created by the divided mind, which the world of division is not a creative power, it's a divisive force. Source. I am that I am. Source. Is the creative power. So, I know a lot of us are working with emotion and emotional response, and the shedding of a held, traumatized past, held on to in the body, whether it's personal, collective, it doesn't matter. Same. The only way is through. And the only way is being as is. Being as what is present throughout all phenomenal expression. Unchanging, changeless, timeless, formless, immovable, the great stillness. So let's work with that. We can even bring this dedication, what do we want to call it? Devotion, intention, discovery. When we're in the presence of somebody else's big emotion, it doesn't have to even be currently what we might call ours. That quickly begins to break down. Could be 2 tables away in the restaurant, in the grocery store. Bring the attention solidly and deeply into the body's reflection of whatever is happening prior to the conceptualization, and in an open, receptive, present way, and grace, the power of the divine wisdom informing matter will flow through its instrument. Blessedness is. Blessings are. It can be counterintuitive that the greatest thing we could possibly do for some messed up situation is to be still. Be as uncaused love that is. Thank you.